All right, everyone, ready to dig into something interesting. Today, we're all about turf application.
Not just mowing lawns, though.
Definitely not. We're talking about building a real business here. And lucky for us, we've got some research right here from someone who's ready to, well, ditch the day job and go full-time green.
Love the enthusiasm. And yeah, there's a lot of potential in the turf application business these days. But like any business, it's all about strategy.
Totally. And one thing that really stood out to me in this research, they're really hammering this whole idea of reasonable prices. Not necessarily the cheapest, which seems a bit counterintuitive, right?
And it's easy to think you need to undercut everyone else, but honestly, that's a race to the bottom. You end up with razor-thin margins and unhappy customers.
Right, makes sense. So how do you avoid that?
Value. Think of it like you could get the cheap burger anywhere, right? But people line up for the gourmet stuff. Why? Because they're paying for the quality ingredients, the experience. They understand the value is higher.
So you're saying apply that same thinking to your lawn care business.
Exactly. Instead of just basic fertilizer, maybe you offer an organic option, something that's better for the environment, better for their lawns. You can charge a premium for that because you're offering a premium service.
Interesting. So it's all about targeting the right customers, the ones who see the value, who are willing to pay for quality.
Exactly.
And speaking of attracting those customers, I noticed something in this research, something that surprised me, honestly. It mentioned service packages, which I'll admit sounded a little corporate-y at first.
Yeah, jargon isn't always everyone's cup of tea, right? But at the core, it's just about diversifying what you offer. Not everyone needs the all-inclusive lawn care package.
So, like different tiers of service.
Exactly. You could have your basic package, maybe seasonal add-ons, some specialized treatments. Maybe someone's got a real problem with, like, grubs or something. You've got a solution for that. Point is, you cast a wider net.
Makes sense. Give people options, appeal to different needs and budgets. And here's another one that surprised me. Social media. Didn't strike me as a big lawn care marketing tool, but this research really emphasized it.
Oh, it's huge. People are constantly on their phones scrolling through those feeds, right? So imagine they're scrolling along and bam, a before and after picture of a lawn transformation.
You're right. Those are pretty compelling.
Yeah, totally. They're visual. They're impactful. It's perfect for this kind of business.
It's amazing how important a good picture can be. And speaking of important, the document dives deep into equipment, particularly the Permagreen Triumph. I've always wondered about those professional spreaders. They seem so much more precise than my walk and fling method.
Well, I can't vouch for any specific brand or anything.
Of course, of course.
But the point is, having the right equipment for the job can make or break your business. Whether it's a high-tech spreader, some fancy software for planning routes, the right tools just make you more efficient, more accurate.
And that's crucial, especially when you're dealing with fertilizers and herbicides. You don't want to be known as the person who accidentally created a weed desert. Speaking of important aspects, this research did not let up about customer service.
Absolutely. I mean, that's key in any business, right? But especially in a service industry like lawn care. Think about it. Someone's beautiful lawn is literally on display for everyone to see. So if you're reliable, if you're communicative, if you go that extra mile, word gets around.
It's like free advertising, right?
Exactly. I actually heard this story a while back about a small landscaping company. They had this elderly client, always had the most incredible flower bed.
Oh, I love those little garden stories. What happened?
So they're finishing up her lawn one day, and they notice her garden hose has a leak. It would have been so easy to just, move on, but they didn't. They took the time to fix it for her.
Wow, that's above and beyond.
It was a small act of kindness, but it meant the world to that client. And you bet she told everyone she knew about those landscapers.
See, that's the kind of stuff that builds a loyal customer base. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We went from, grass seed to actual business strategy.
Right.
It's clear this research lays a great foundation, but to really thrive, you got to think bigger.
Totally. Don't just be another lawn care company. Figure out what makes you unique, what makes you stand out. Maybe you become the organic lawn care specialist in your area, or the go-to for busy families who just don't have the time.
Find your niche. I love that. And hey, if you're listening to this and those creative gears are turning, we want to hear from you. Bring your research, we'll dive deep, and together we'll figure out how to make your business bloom.
Now that's an offer you can't refuse.
Until next time, happy growing, everyone.